Under the Table and Dreaming is the debut studio album from the Dave Matthews Band, released on September 27, 1994. The album's first single was, What Would You Say, featuring John Popper of Blues Traveler on harmonica. Two other singles from the album followed, Ants Marching, and Satellite. The album's title comes from a line in the song Ants Marching. He remembers being small/playing under the table and dreaming. The album was dedicated in memory of Anne for Matthews' older sister Anne, who was killed by her husband in 1994 in a murder-suicide. Included in the jewel case packet is a picture of Dave Matthews and one of Anne's children. By March 16, 2000, the album had sold 6 million copies, and was certified 6A, Platinum by the RIAA. Recording: the acoustic guitar tracks on the album were played by Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds. During the recording sessions, Matthews and Reynolds would sit face-to-face with a piece of glass between them, playing the same guitar part. This was done twice for each song, resulting in 4 acoustic guitar tracks all playing the same part on each song. Producer Steve Lillywhite frequently turned down the volume on Matthews' parts and turned up the volume on Reynolds' parts, resulting in Reynolds' guitar playing being more prominent on the final album. Reynolds then overdubbed additional acoustic and electric guitar parts. Matthews has stated during performances that the harmonica solo performed by John Popper on What Would You Say was done in only 5 to 10 minutes, while Matthews was in the bathroom. One of Dave Matthews Band's most popular live songs, Granny, was recorded in the studio sessions for this album and was originally intended to be the first single before being cut from the album. Number 34 is the only instrumental track on the album, although it was played with lyrics on 9 occasions in 1993, prior to the band taking it to the studio. The band originally recorded the song with lyrics, but they were removed from the final album cut. On some pressings of the album there are 22 blank tracks between Pay for What You Get and Number 34, so that the latter appears as track number 34. Other pressings simply have the 12th track prepended by a period of silence. Track listing: all songs written and composed by David J. Matthews, except Number 34 by Matthews, Leroy Moore, Carter Beauford and Haynes Fullerton. Songs cut from the album: songs that were recorded during the sessions, but weren't included on the final cut. Granny. Matthews wanted this to be the band's first single, but the song never made it to any of the studio albums. Nonetheless, the song remains a strong fan favorite and is played to this day, also appearing on 19 live releases by the band. A studio version of this track is included on the 2014 reissue of the album. Say Goodbye more than likely not recorded during a full band session. The song was later released on the next album, Crash. Let You Down was probably the only original song written in the studio, although it may have not even made a demo. The song was also later released on the next album, Crash. Get in Line. The song was played regularly during the 1994 support tour for the album, but later was abandoned by the band completely. Kind Intentions. The song first appeared as a demo recording, made by the band in 1991–1993, but never appeared as a studio version or a full song during the known live performances. Personnel: Dave Matthews Band, Carter Beauford drums, percussion, vocals, Stefan Lissard bass guitar, Dave Matthews vocals, acoustic guitar, Leroy Moore alto, soprano, and tenor saxophone. Vocals: flute, Boyd Tinsley acoustic violin, vocals. Additional personnel: John Alligator additional vocals on Dancing Nancy's, and What Would You Say, Steve Foreman additional percussion on Typical Situation, Ted Jensen mastering, Michael McDonald additional vocals on Dancing Nancy's, and What Would You Say, Andrew Page additional vocals on Dancing Nancy's, and What Would You Say, John Popper harmonica on What Would You Say, Tim Reynolds acoustic guitar, electric guitar, Jeff Thomas additional vocals on Dancing Nancy's, and What Would You Say. References